You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails, garner great pet tips, and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guest today is about to take you on a journey through magical worlds. There will be dolphins, a little girl, and even a flea-ridden dog from Brazil. But in the end, my wish is that you will feel stronger physically, emotionally, and spiritually after this episode. So I want you all to please give a warm welcome to author and spiritual counselor, Cher Slater-Barlevi. Hey, welcome to the show, Cher.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, folks, Cher is the author of a wonderful book called Dog of God, the novel, a wild romp through magical worlds. I read it and loved how the words, they just took me away from the daily grind and placed me in a different dimension, a place free of fear or unhappiness. That's pretty nice, right, guys? So, I want everybody to sit and stay, and we'll be right back after we take this commercial break.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
It's designerpetsweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your 4-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now, back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guest today is spiritual counselor Cher Slater-Barlevi. She's the author of an inspirational book called Dog of God, the novel, a wild romp through magical worlds. But before we discuss a single page from your novel, Cher, I want you to share with our listeners how a car accident in 1973 totally turned your life around.
Well, that's exactly what happened. I was not listening to my inner voice. And my inner voice was saying, hey, Cher, I know you went through school. I know you paid a lot of money. I know that it's, but you're not happy. And I wasn't listening, going, no, I went to school. I paid a lot of money, and I'm going to stick with it. So sometimes you do that long enough, and the universe kind of like throws you in a place. Well, we got you. You have to listen to us now. So I was pinned between 2 cars, and I had lacerations on my right leg, and I had a broken ankle on my left. And over the years, well, actually, I've got to back up a bit.
That's
I'm
right.
Excited here.
I know. You're on the Oh Behave Show. Isn't that amazing?
I know. I'm so excited. I'm stoked. But anyway, what's happening is that I ended up in the hospital in surgery, and during surgery, I actually died.
Really?
And I found out that this was the time that I was supposed to transition, but they did give me a choice, and that I could come back and do the work that I'm doing now. So I came back. And
now, let me just back up. What
Mm-hmm.
was your major that cost you a lot of money? What were you majoring in college?
I went to Art Center College of Design. I was an illustrator.
Okay.
And in those days, they didn't really respect women all that much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just really felt like almost a failure, even though I graduated with honors and all that. But what happened when I died was I had my third eye opened up.
Okay.
So I'm seeing a whole different way of life, and I'm going from Western doctor to Western doctor, and they're saying, well, I hope you're okay with being a cripple for the rest of your life and in pain. And I thought, no, I'm not okay with that. Sorry.
What a bedside manner. Man, give me the name of those doctors. I want them. Okay.
We love those guys, don't we?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm going out of the box here, and I heard about John of God, who's down in Brazil, and I thought I am going clear down there and working with him because I think he has my last hope. And when I went down there, I was with a lot of people there that were there for their last hope. And it was the first place on this planet that I learned that we are all one, and that if we step beyond our ego, we have what's called loving, and that interconnectedness of all of us. And it was just an extraordinary experience. My third eye that I now had was able to see what was going on with all what appeared to be magical things. There was actually a structure, another life that was going on that was helping us. There were entities and angels and all kinds of swirling energies, and I could see it all. And I thought, wow.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I would love to put this in a book.
Please tell people who John of God is. I know, folks like Oprah have had him on her show and things like that, but he's a Brazilian healer, but you know much more about him than I do.
He is a Brazilian healer in that he is a medium. What happens is there are entities on the other side that work through him. There are entity doctors. He himself, as a physical man, has a third grade, education. And so he really virtually just lends his body to be animated by these doctors. Where they're from, nothing is impossible, and all kinds of things are available for us. But the rule is, because we are in a physical space, they have to use a physical being or body with permission to go ahead and do their work.
Okay.
And so we get into the dog part. That's where...
A little dog named Chico, right? Chico.
Yeah, his name is actually, in Brazilian, is Chico.
Okay.
But he was known in that village where I was at, in Brazil, as the healing dog. And if he wanted to work on you, you were supposed to let him come into your room or wherever he wanted to work on you.
That's a lot different than a dog who heals, like being by your side. This dog's much more talented. He's got the A in healing, right?
Yeah, he is a medium.
Yeah.
John of
it's
God.
Not healing,
So,
H-E-E-L. He's healing, H-E-A-L, which to me is a much better dog.
Oh, I get it! That's a good joke.
All right. Yep.
Okay. And so, anyway, this little Chico he came in and worked on me. And I thought, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. And when you go down there, not will they only work on what you came down for, they will work on 9 other things.
Wow.
At the same time. And I noticed that I had a lot of problems with my lungs. I used to live in the valley, and I smoked in college, and so they were working on my lungs at the time. And Chico came in and sat right on my chest area and stayed there, and if I moved, he would move with me.
What kind of dog was he? Please tell me he wasn't a Great Dane. What kind of dog was he sitting on you?
No, that was he was a little Jack Russell.
Okay.
Jack Russell Terrier with a really dynamic personality, as you probably saw in the book.
Right.
Because my book's told through the eyes of this little Chico. And anyway, he had a story. He was pretty famous and had already been around the world. And I thought, wow, what's that all about? And so I was talking around and found out that he actually disappeared one day. No one could find him. The village had to get together and figure out, where the heck did their little healing dog go? And they really missed him because he was doing a great job.
Right.
They found out that he had actually been taken to Canada and was being held there by someone that would not give him up.
Wow.
So they rallied together all the people that they knew that Chico had healed or worked on, people that had come to work with John of God, people in the village. They even got politicians. They got everybody together, rallied together to go and get this dog back.
That's the ultimate puppy posse, I would say.
I think so. I think so. It really opened up my heart to the love that we have for animals, the love we have for their dedication to us. So that's what I wanted to really explore in my book, is how love really keeps us connected and helping each other and enjoying each other and healing each other.
Well, you did a fabulous job. And hey, listeners, it's a real trick to write dialogue sounding like dolphins. There's a couple of dolphins in this book. It's also tricky to write a dialogue speaking in the voice of a flea-ridden dog. And then you get on the voice of a little girl. I'm an author as well, and I'm looking at, you had some tricky dialogues. We're going to talk about the plot too, but how difficult was it for you to get into these dialogues that really captured dolphins, dogs, and a little girl?
It was kind of hard. I was working with a coach. I was kind of hard trying to find my voice at first. And then all of a sudden, and I don't know if this is true or what happened, but I got a call from a friend of mine, Bob Dinga, who takes people all the way down to Brazil. I'm going down with him in a couple weeks. And he said, did you know that Chico died? And I said, well, I kind of think I did, because he's right here on my shoulder telling me how to write this book. And after that, the voice came really easy. And after that, I kind of went into the zone where I felt like I was kind of the secretary.
Yeah.
So, I loved writing because I love stories, and I can't wait to find out what comes next. So here I was, writing this story, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and I couldn't wait to get back to writing because I wanted to know what was going to happen next. So it was really fun.
Well, so let's set the plot for our listeners, because it starts really with a couple of dolphins, and I hope I'm pronouncing their names right, but you have Zeep and Eo. Am I doing it right?
Very good.
Woo!
Very good, yeah.
Man, Vanna White, move over. We got all the vowels with these critters. So tell us about Zeep and Eo.
Well, I wanted to make this wild romp to magical world. So I wanted to show that when we die, we don't really die. We just go to our next life or travel or whatever it is we need to learn. So I needed to show how Chico and this little girl in Brazil were connected.
Okay.
And so I put them in dolphin bodies. These were lovers at the deep, deep bottom of the sea. Right. And Zeep is a very fast racer. Right. And Eo's girlfriend, who would outrace him, and it would frustrate him. But he loved her dearly and always kept up with her. So when they died together in a poacher's snare, they made a vow that they would always find each other and be together. So from that point, I take them on to the other side, and they meet with their counselors, and they find out what their next mission is in life. And Eo, the girl, had to go help a little girl who was in a coma in Canada, help her to find her father. So she needed to step in and live in her body for a while.
And that's Sabrina, right?
Yeah, that's Sabrina. In order for Zeep to be with Eo, he had to go to Brazil and be stuffed into a almost dead, flea-ridden, smelly little dog that was lying half dead on the side of the road.
Right.
And he wasn't really happy with that, because he was this amazing racer and had an amazing life, and now he had to go live in some little dog body. Mm-hmm. But he had made a commitment that he was going to be with her. And how it turns out is that...
Do we want to give away the pot? Do we want to give away the ending? Come on, I'm one author to another. Yeah, we want. I want you guys to buy this book. But
how do they get together?
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping me.
Yeah. Stop it! Brakes. Don't be like Zeep. You're putting on too much speed on the plot. But it is good. Hey, folks, we're speaking with Cher, and she is the author of Dog of God, and we're going to have to take a quick break to pay for the show, and we'll be right back. So everybody, you know the drill. Sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. All Behave will be back in a flash, right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, the founder of Whitegate PR. We have been specializing in PR and marketing in the pet industry for over 10 years. If you have a pet product or service you would like to promote, give us a call. We can help create awareness for your brand on TV, radio, magazines, newspapers, and blogs. Feel free to reach me directly at 619-414-9307 or learn more on our website at whitegatepr.com or follow us on Facebook.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, this is Rosalind Kind, and I want to get you all to tune in to Arden Moore on the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. Come out, wherever you are.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the O Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I'm chatting away with Cher Slater-Barlevi. And hey, folks, she came back from the dead. So, I think we should listen to her. She's got some good things to say. And there is a quote that you have in your book, and I know it's attributed to someone, but I love it. And for those who believe, no words are necessary. For those who do not believe, no words are possible. So, we live in kind of a funky time, and we're getting pummeled by a lot of things and challenged. So from those words, what kind of message can you give our listeners?
I think this is an amazing opportunity being here on the earth at this time. There are all kinds of shifts and changes going on. And what I have learned is that for the first time on this planet, we are receiving energies that are much higher in frequency than we ever have had. And what's happening is that now we are opening up our ability to see a much larger world. And what I mean by that is see beyond our six senses, that there is so much more available. And people are now waking up. They're going, aha, this feels good. I like this. This works for me. You mean I am in control of my life. You mean that people don't really have to control me. I can really make my own decisions and have the life that I really want. This is now available, and people are really excited about it. I was just in Denver. Now, I come from that area. I was born and raised in the area, and I always felt very uncomfortable because people had very closed minds. But when I was there this last time at the I Can Do It conference, so there were a lot of spiritual people, 5,000 people, the biggest group that I Can Do It has ever had. And it was amazing, and people were so open. And I got to sign my book. I sold all my books, and it was just an amazing experience.
So why do you think we now are seen at a higher frequency than ever before? What do you think are some of the reasons? Do you have a theory?
Yeah, I have a theory.
All right.
I think it's more delegated to the truth, is that there has been such a dominant of negative thinking on this planet for so long that the planet is now in danger of dwindling away. Now, this happens to be one of the best classrooms ever available in the universe to come to the Earth. There are a lot of things that we learn here, and we contribute to the growth and expansion of so much. We have no idea what we contribute to here. And so we are getting help from those entities that I spoke of, and they are bringing more and more of that energy and opening up what is called the curtain of knowledge. It's getting thinner and thinner. So now we are able to expand our consciousnesses out and see a whole holistic view of what our life is really about. And I have a master's in spiritual psychology at the University of Santa Monica. That place is one of the only places that I know of. I know it for me, that I was able to really come to know exactly what we are here to do with our lives and how we can make our lives so much better by just being in a loving space rather than coming from fear.
Yeah, that's
I really believe. Yeah, we've been controlled for so long from fear, and now we don't really need to, because we're realizing as we awaken is that there really is no such thing as fear. It's only something we've bought into that so we can be controlled by others. As we step into this loving and knowing what to do in situations that are rather than angry, but to go past that and really go into ourselves and saying, what part of me is making me do this? What part don't I understand that's keeping me away from loving? And if you open up to that, we are so smart and brilliant, and we are actually geniuses in disguise.
Well, speak for yourself.
We can figure these things out for ourselves.
Yeah. So,
well, it's the truth.
And we do have the dog of God, which, there's probably a reason why dog is God spelled backwards, and cat sounds like half of a tic-tac. It's only, tack. But, I do know that they do give us a lot of things if we just sit and listen and receive. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, my furry Fab 4, and I think every day I'm with them as a gift. Do you have any four-leggers in your life right now?
Oh, my gosh. I have 2 dogs. I just had 4. I had 2 of them passed over. And then I got a kitty. But usually there's about 3 or 4 dogs in my life because of that very reason. And I've actually seen how someone will be totally out of sorts and come to the house and be with my dogs and leave, and they had this beautiful color in their face.
And what are your dogs' names and your kitty's names? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, well, I've got my Bijan Fissé. His name is Bijou.
Okay.
And then I've got Boo Boo, who is a Jacquillon. Now, what is a Jacquillon? I made that up, but actually my friend made it up. But it's a half Jack Russell, long-haired, and a Papillon. And she is just gorgeous. And if you come to my website, you'll see her.
I thought I saw your video. I think she's in your arms while you're talking.
Yeah, that's her. That's her.
All right.
And then I have my Mi Amore.
Mi Amore. All right. Well, you're lucky about that. So folks want to know how they can get their paws on your book, Dog of God. And I know there's a lot of options because in this nice literary world, you have it in paperback, ebook. I don't know. Can you tap the cosmics and get it too?
Yeah, isn't this great? Be on the planet right now where you can get all these things and virtually for no money at all. But I have it on ebook. I have it on Amazon, where you can get it in hardcover, which is really beautiful, or you can get it in softcover. And I'm also planning to have a audio coming out.
Good.
Within the year. Yeah,
okay.
I can't wait to do that. Get to do all those voices.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for you to go and do the dolphins. Go for it, girl.
I think you should be the one. You are hired.
No. Well, Flipper and I, we kind of come from the same. No, I'm just kidding. One thing I really liked on the back of the book, you have different folks giving shout outs, but the one from a faculty member at Pacific Oaks College, Mary Worthington, kind of summed up how I felt. And she wrote, "This novel holds amazing insights and answer the one question Wayne Dyer and Oprah both have asked about: miraculous healing. How does this happen?" And I think part of your message is to just let it happen instead of always, logically. Just let it seep in, right?
Right. That's what you want to do. But if you read the book, you'll see that there's actually a reason and a whole orchestration that's there, right, just loving us and wanting us to be our highest and best and authentic people. And even our bodies, they can heal them. And it's a magical, magical place that I'm really tired of not being able to say, this is reality. This is reality, not what we're seeing here in the physical, because we're so shut down on, closed from what, we have very few things here that's available to us. And there's a reason for that. But at the same time, I always wanted to know what the rest of my brain was for.
Well,
I use 4%. What do we use the rest for?
Probably playing video games. I don't know. I'm only using 2% of my brain right now answering your question, so what am I knowing? But no, I'm just teasing. I did enjoy your book, and I did finish it from start to cover in one evening. And
That's so
I know. Woohoo! I'm one of those rare hosts that actually reads the books before the guests come on. What do you think? Pretty novel, huh? Of your novel.
Yeah, I'm so novel that you read my novel.
I know. And I want more of my listeners to please get your paws on Dog of God, the novel, A Wild Romp Through Magical Worlds, and check out how she masters a dialogue between two dolphins. Come on, guys. Can you do that? I don't think so. And I loved a little bit of snarking from Chico, who was actually the former dolphin, known as Zeep. So there you go. I'm not going to give away any of the plot, but you're going to fall in love with Sabrina. And I just want to meet the grandma that you have, the French grandma from Montreal. I think it's called Grand-Mère Fleur. And something about the pink comforter, folks. I'm not bringing out spilling any deeds. And then I'm not a real big fan of Dr. Abram Latham, but you guys will find out why.
He's the bad guy, that's why.
The bad guy. He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
He's the one that doesn't get it.
That's right. So there's a lot of good little twists and turns, and she is like a seamstress. She magically gets everything stitched together, and it's a wonderful journey, and I want you guys all to get your paws on it. And I do thank you, Cher, for being a guest. Again, her name is Cher Slater-Barlevi. You can go to dogofgod.com and check it out. There's some really cool videos on there and lots of other magical things to inspire you. We need people more like you, Cher. I like the other Cher. She's a good singer, but I think you're singing to our soul.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
And I also want to thank my producer, Mark Winter. He is the mastermind behind the entire Pet Life Radio network. We have zillions of people tuning in many, many ways, just like with your book, Cher, from iHeartRadio to iTunes. Just check out PetLifeRadio.com. We'll be posting the show soon. And until next time, everybody, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.